Hello and welcome to the podcast. As you can see, I am back from Spain. There wasn't a podcast last week because I would have had to film it on the last day and I just didn't feel like it. There was just a lot of other stuff going on and we had to pack and things like that, so I couldn't bother to film on the last day of a holiday because I would have had to film, edit it and upload it all in one day, which is quite a lot of work. So I didn't post a podcast last week. I did have another video instead. There will be another video on today. They are filming this, which is Tuesday. So the video before this on the YouTube feed will have been a video but with some of the stuff we did in the second half of our holiday. I included a few of the things we did in the first half of our holiday in the podcast 2 weeks ago, but we didn't do an awful lot apart from going to the beach in the first half of our holiday. We did a lot more in the second half, and I collated that into a separate video which I posted on Tuesday, which is basically all just Spain content and no knitting content. So today I got lots of stuff to share. I have got loads of knitting, I got some crochet, I got some update on a couple of the projects I was working on 2 weeks ago. I cast on something new. I've got deadline projects coming up, I've got yarn. There's a lot of stuff, so let's get on with it. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I sell yarn through my website YarnAddict.co.uk. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And you can find the links to my website, my social media, my pattern shops on Raffia and Payhip, and how to sign up for my newsletter, and everything else below this video. Okay, so I'm not quite sure where to start. I did make some notes. I made like 5 points. I didn't even finish my notes. That's how busy it's been since I came back. So we came back from holiday on Thursday last week. It's Tuesday today, as I mentioned. Came back on Thursday, didn't do a lot on Friday. Had my hair cut, didn't cut it very much, and I walked the dog this morning, so this looks a bit of a mess now, but that's okay. Fairly busy over the weekend, and I've been trying to get back into work stuff this week. Trying to work through my huge backlog of pattern writing. I have so many patterns that I've designed for self-publishing in the last 6 months now, since last September, that I haven't written or published yet. So I'm starting to work my way through that because my goal is to catch up over the summer. And the first one I started with is this cowl called the Twist Cowl. I think it's that way up. It's I knitted it when we went to Norway last Christmas, and they're based on a pair of hand warmers that are included in my brioche brioche improvers in-person workshops and in my brioche online course. And I made this cowl to match, and I think I'm going to publish this as a pattern. I think the hand warmers will still only be for my in-person workshops and my online brioche course, I think. But I started writing the pattern this morning and I had to completely re-chart the whole chart. I thought I could just use the one I used for the hand warmers, and I couldn't, so I have spent an hour and a half charting brioche this morning, which is quite tedious because in brioche you need to put a symbol in every single square on the chart, which you don't in most other forms of charts that I do, like lace knitting. So let's get back to what I was working on when we last spoke 2 weeks ago. The first thing I want to share is my crochet bag. So I think I had already done this. Yes, I'm pretty sure I'd already done this. I changed the sides to make them straighter because they were a bit pointy. I think I shared that last time. So 2 weeks ago, on Thursday 2 weeks ago, so 2 weeks from when this video is live, we went into Alicante for the mascletas. I believe that's how you pronounce it. That's I'd show you what it is and talk more about it in Tuesday's Spain vlog. But it's, we had a look around the Alicante, around the old town. We did a bit of shopping. We watched the mascletas, which is basically like fireworks without the flashes of light, just the loud bangs. Quite fascinating. And we watched that, and I took this bag with me. So I wore my crossbody bag with all my like essentials in, and then I brought this bag with my water bottle, my knitting. I think that was about it. I don't think I bought anything, so I don't think I had anything. Oh yes, I bought some stuff in Kiko, makeup, nail stuff, so that probably went in here. So I used it. I don't think the actual crochet squares bit has stretched, but the handle stretched a lot. I think it probably doubled in length. I don't think I took a picture of when I came home, but it got longer and longer. So in the end, I actually just tied a knot in it to make it shorter because it was getting quite long. Not quite long enough to wear crossbody, but it was getting quite long. So when I came back from that trip to Alicante, I decided to rip out the shoulder strap and I recrocheted it. So before we left, I finished the crochet strap on the train to I finished on the train. Yeah, I think I finished on the train to Exeter, where we were flying from. And I wanted to do, I'd seen this thing on Instagram either the evening before or that morning, where the somebody was using Tunisian crochet, using a normal crochet hook, because it's just a few stitches, to make a strap for a bag. And I thought, oh, that's a good idea. But it wasn't a proper tutorial, it was just a video, and it was quite quick, and I tried to follow it. But it's been quite a while since I've done, like quite a few years since I've done Tunisian crochet. So because this video didn't really, it wasn't really a tutorial, it was just somebody doing it quickly, it just didn't look any good, so I gave up and I just did double crochet. And I did expect it to stretch, but it stretched a lot, so I ripped it out and I redid it, and I used same yarn that I'd used the first time, and I did Tunisian crochet. I haven't pressed it, so it does curl a bit. I can't remember how many stitches I did, maybe like 10, 8, 9, 10. I can't remember, but I do quite like it. And then I actually crocheted, double crochet either side of it. So I double crocheted up one side of the strap all the way around, and then the same on the other side. So I'd already done one row of double crochet around the bag, and I did another one just to help kind of anchor the strap down a bit more. So I haven't used it since I did that, so I don't know how much this will stretch. I also haven't measured it, so I might measure it and then maybe just put a few things in it and hang it up, because I don't know when I'll get a chance to use it. And then see if that makes it less stretchy. I was considering getting a leather strap to use. I really like the way it looks now. I could do it pressing this to see if it'll lie flat. But because I did this an extra round of double crochet around everything, I just feel like it's kind of anchored it in a bit more and made it look part of the bag. Whereas the original strap, I made the strap and then I just sewed it on, and it didn't look that great either. This one I picked up stitches and then crocheted it and then attached it on the other side. Need to try and remember how to do that if I decide to write up this pattern. If I decide to write up this pattern, I probably should do it sooner rather than later. Yeah, I haven't decided yet, so let me know. Would you like this pattern? It's not standard granny squares. It starts with a circle, 2 rounds of circles, and then 3 rounds of granny squares. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I really enjoyed making it, and hopefully I will get some use of it before the summer is over. I think last time I recorded, I started these. I don't think I'd even got to the heel. I'm not sure how far I got, but I definitely think I'd started them, because I'm pretty sure the socks knitted in the Rico neon. Sure, I talked about those 2 weeks ago. Because I didn't make notes in my normal notebook, and I don't know where the notes I took are, so I don't know. Anyway, these are Pixie yarn. It's the fingering weight sock yarn, superwash merino nylon, 425 meters per 100 gram, and the color is Après Midi. And I had this wound up for quite a while because I was going to use it with my Pixie cardigan in February, March type, that kind of time, I don't know. So I knitted these. I decided to do short rows again. I have never had very much luck with short rows. They either don't look right or they don't fit me right. I got quite a high instep and quite wide feet and quite long feet. So I've never been very happy with short rows. I tried what they call fish lips kiss heel, which is a pattern you have to buy on Ravelry. And I tried that 2-3 years ago maybe, and I didn't like it, and I was going to try it, and then I tried shadow wrap heel a while ago, early this year maybe, and they weren't perfect either. And I was going to try shadow wrap heels again, but then I thought maybe I'll try something else. So I decided to do a German short row heel, because my favorite short rows are German short rows, and I'm very good at doing them on anything else. So they aren't stretched as much on this sock pocket as they are on my feet, and I haven't actually tried them on my feet yet. I decided to add a gusset basically, so I increase before the heel, decrease after the heel. And the way I first decided to do it didn't work out, and I recorded a little bit a couple of days ago, which I'm going to show you now because I wanted to show how I fixed it as a tutorial. So I'm going to show you the bit I recorded, and then I'll show you the finished result. Let's take a look at these socks that I finished on holiday. So this is the sock I finished first, and I decided to do a short row heel, which we'll come to in a minute, but short row heels don't tend to fit me very well. So I thought if I increase before the heel and decrease after the heel, it might fit me better. So I increased at the beginning and end of the stitches on the second half of my needle, so the stitches for the heel. I use magic loop, and I don't like it. It made a funny kind of line here. This increases really need to come down here like they do on the second sock. So I'm happy with the second sock. There's a bit of a funny thing going on here, so I do need to do some work on this technique to make it work better, but I don't like that. So I was going to just leave it and just have these as mismatched socks, but I'm also not 100% happy with my short row heel. You can see here it's a little bit gappy. It is better on that side. Obviously, that's not the same side of the sock as that. So that would be, trying to work it out, I think that would be when I did the German short rows on the wrong side, I think. And this is the right side. I swapped my socks around now. So this is the sock that was on my right foot. So on this side, I'm much happier with my short rows. Still tiny little gaps there, but I think that's because I probably could do with increasing some more stitches because it probably does pull a little bit much on here. Also a little bit of problem there, but I think that's when I went back to working in the round after doing the heel, and I think I know how to fix that. I think also may I know how to fix that. Let's have a look at the other sock. This is the one where on the other side, on the outside of my foot now, it was really gappy. It's also a little bit gappy here. It's not as bad, but it's a little bit gappy and I'm not 100% happy with it. So I'm going to cut this sock. I knitted the top down, so I'm going to cut it here and ravel up to here and re-knit this section so the shaping matches the other sock, and so that I can have another go at doing the heel. I've never been 100% happy with short row heels because they don't fit me very well, but also because I just cannot not get them gappy. So, but with the increases for the gusset, I do quite like them, and there are advantages about doing short row heels. So I'm going to go and unpick this. I'm going to film it to turn into a tutorial. So I'm going to cut here, unravel back to here, re-knit this section, and then I'm going to graft it back onto the foot. I don't want to knit the whole foot and everything again because that's going to take me a long time because I have long feet. The foot is, I think, 75 rounds from here to the toe, plus the toe, so that's a lot of knitting, so I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go now and cut it, and I'm going to film it so I can use it as a tutorial at some point. So this is the sock that I basically cut out this section and reknitted it and grafted it back on again. It's not perfect. The tutorial for that will be out next Tuesday, I think. Yeah, next Tuesday, unless something else important comes up, it'll be out on Tuesday. It's not perfect. You will see in the tutorial that where I finished grafting, so I grafted the whole round, which is a lot of grafting to do, but where I finished it, it's a little bit lumpy. I made a mistake right at the end, and then I accidentally dropped all my stitches off the needle, and it went a bit wrong, and I just run out of patience by then, and I wanted to finish it. So I did, and it's fine. It's a pair of socks. It's going to be on my feet. Who cares? I don't think anyone can see it, partly also because it's so variegated. I don't think anyone can see it at a distance. I can't even see where it is now. Oh, it's here. Yeah, nobody's going to be able to see it when I wear it. But I wasn't 100% happy with this short rows the first time around, but the second time I was much happier. I did make some tiny changes to it. I have an online course called Successful Socks. It was originally called Aventuras Socks, and it was based on my Aventura sock pattern, which is toe up. Well, the Aventura sock pattern is a choice of toe up, cuff down, with two choices of afterthought heels and two choices of toes and choice of two stitch patterns. So toe up, cuff down, two heels, two toes, two stitch patterns. It's a lot of choice. And I basically made an online course based around that sock pattern. And then a couple of years, maybe it was last year or the year before, 2 years ago, not sure, I decided I would update it to include lots of other sock related things like standard heel flap and heel turn and gusset, short row heel, different things like that. But I've just never gotten around to doing it. I would only really have time to do it in the summer, and summer starts and I think, right, I'm going to do all this stuff because I teach a lot less in the summer, so I have more time, and then we get to the end of August and I haven't done any of what I was going to do. So I'm trying to be organized now because I'm not teaching. I got one workshop this week, and then I'm not teaching again till I get back from Norway middle of September. So I have plenty of time this month and next month to get some stuff done. So I'm going to try and catch up on all my pattern writing and also record the extra video for my Successful Socks course. I changed the name of the course, but I haven't added extra content. So those who already have that sock course, Successful Socks, originally Aventuras Socks, if you've signed up to any of my online courses, by the way, and you haven't logged in for a while and you've kind of forgotten how to log in, just go to ruzuku.com, ruzuku.com. I'll put it on the screen. I'll also link it below. And then you can just log in with your details. And if you've forgotten your password, there is a sort of forgotten password link there that you can use. Because I do sometimes get people email me and say, I haven't logged into my course for a long time and now I can't remember how. But you just go to ruzuku.com, or you can go to my website, and on my website it has on the workshop and online courses page, it has all my online courses, and you can just go there and click on the one that you signed up to, and then you just need to log in. So that's one of my jobs over the summer, and I will include how to get an improved fit with a short row heel, including how to do this gusset. I'm much happier with the second version of this gusset than the first one. And thinking about it, I should have known that the original gusset didn't make sense. So those are finished. I'm going to take them off the sock blockers and put those away, and then put this in my drawer so I can wear them. And the last project for my holidays I need to catch up on is my what's it called? It's my Murano shawl. I can't remember the name of my own designs. So I'm reknitting this. It was originally knitted in the yarn that's no longer available. So I'm reknitting it in, what's it called? Yatagon Organic Trio, which is organic merino, organic cotton, and silk. And I haven't made a lot of progress since last time. I think I was probably on this garter stitch section here when I last recorded, maybe, I don't know, I can't remember. I've started on this section, this lace section, which is quite deep. I also now have between 450 and 500 stitches, so the rows are long and every other row is a purl row, so it's taking a long time, and I haven't really worked on it much since we got back. While we were on holiday, I was trying to do 2 or 3 rows a day, but there were some days we were out a lot and I didn't get any done on it at all. And there was also a couple of times where I was at certain points in my sock where I worked on the sock just so I could have it ready for easy knitting for the next time I wanted to take it out with me. So I haven't really done much on this since we came back. I moved it into my Ho-He bag because it is my favorite bag, project bag. I like the fact that you can just sit on the floor next to my chair as well for the yarn to feed out of it quite easily. My goal is to finish this and get it blocked ready for Yarndale in September. I don't really need to do a lot of updating the pattern. I think all I need to do is take new photos and just make sure the tension and the size hasn't changed with a different yarn. So I think that's all I need to do. So it's not a lot of stuff I need to do once this is finished. So we're going to Norway at the end of August. So my goal is to finish this before we go to Norway. Probably not going to see any action for the next week or two because I've got other stuff I want to finish and I got some deadline projects as well. So let's move on to the next project. Okay, so the next project I worked on a little bit over the weekend. I picked it up a couple of times when I just couldn't face and run a shawl. I picked this up. It's my pink socks that I've been working on for a while. So this is the same yarn as that. I got this in Norway in March. I think it was March. And if I'd taken this on holiday, I would have finished it, but I didn't. So I am knitting a toe up with gusset and heel flaps. I'm on the gusset increases at the moment. I don't know if you can see that because it's so bright. It's my Roseland sock pattern, which has a lace pattern on it. This colour is really hard to photograph and film. I have done that much since last time. So I think now that I've finished my other socks, I'm going to put this into my normal sock project bag so it's ready and I can just take it out with me. So if we go out this weekend, I can just grab this if I need some take along knitting. I was going to cast on a pair of plain socks, but these are fairly easy to knit, so I think I'm going to take these with me if I need out and about knitting until I finish them, because I just want to get them finished. So made a little bit of progress on them, but I will try and make a little bit more progress on them over the next week. So while we were away in Spain, we went to a few shops, and I did a video just before we went away where I talked about the amount of crochet items that are in shops at the moment, particularly crochet bags, and should we be buying them or not. I will link to that video below and at the end of this video. Basically, crochet is handmade. So if you see crochet in the shops, it's handmade. If it's actually crochet, there are stuff that's sold as crochet that's not crochet. And there's also, I saw something the other day that was listed as macrame, but I zoomed in the picture and I'm 99.99999% sure that it's crochet. There may be other macrame details on it, but I'm pretty sure that the main, because it was granny squares, so I'm pretty sure it's crochet. So things get mislabeled all the time and it really winds me up. So a lot of these bags are made from raffia, and I saw one bag at I had an ad from Mango, Spanish company, I think, Mango, and it was a pink raffia crochet tote bag. And we went into a Mango store and they didn't have it. They had it in orange, but I didn't want orange because I don't like orange. So, but had they had it in pink, I would have been really, really tempted to buy it. Even though I would normally buy crochet items, I really liked the colour and I was really, really tempted. Especially because the price was fairly reasonable. I got a feeling it was like something like maybe between 25 and 30 euros. But they didn't have it in the mango shop we went in Alicante. So then I was thinking, because I saw lots of stuff in Raffia and I've seen lots of stuff online in Raffia, and I'm like, what is Raffia? Can you buy Raffia for like hand knitting and hand crocheting? So I did a bit of Googling while we were on holiday and I found some Raffia yarn. I found several actually, but I decided to get this one. I got 4 also this, and it is King Cole Raffia. On the cover they got a bag which I think is crocheted and a sun hat which is also crocheted. So I guess the main thing is used for is things like hats and bags. But it's made from, it's 100% cellulose rayon, which made, from what I understand, means it's made from like wood pulp. So I guess it's like a paper yarn really. I'm sure I've seen it called paper yarn before. And it has 140 meters per 50 grams. And it's wrapped around like a cone, which is why it looks so big. But it is like a sort of tape yarn. It's kind of flat and it does feel like paper, but it has like a sort of smooth coating to it. And I have started crocheting something. I'm on my second ball. Once you take the label off, it starts to unwind quite quickly. So let me show you what I am making. So I decided, oh, what happened was, yeah, so I ordered that. It arrived while we were away, or just the day after we came home, I can't remember. When we got back over the weekend, we went to Plymouth, and there's a new mango shop in Plymouth. So I went in just on the off chance they might have this pink bag, and they did. But it was £35, which makes it quite a bit more expensive than what it is in Spain. If it'd been like similar price to Spain, I might have considered it. Because I think the price in euros would be, I can't remember if it was €25 or just over €25, but it would have been low 20s in pounds. £35. When I saw that, I thought, oh, that's expensive. And then I looked online on the Mango Spanish website, and yes, it is considerably cheaper in euros. Now, I know it contradicts what I was saying the other week. It's not expensive when you think about the fact that it's been crocheted by hand by somebody. It's actually very, very cheap. And the person making it probably isn't paid an awful lot of money. Pennies, I would guess. But buying something from a shop like Mango, which I don't know how good quality it is, I just felt like I didn't want to pay a lot more for that. And I know that contradicts what I said the other week, where I said that if we're buying crochet, we should be paying more for it if the person making it is paid more. So I'm glad I didn't buy it, and I decided to make my own. So I'm not making exactly like it was in the store. I've done the base is double crochet, and then I'm using trebles for the side. So double crochet in American terms is single crochet, and trebles is double in the US. And I've just started going for like a little bit more of an open pattern. I have just started I've just this morning charted out the pattern I'm going to use for the rest of the body. I really had hoped that I would finish this over the weekend. I don't think I only started it on Sunday night, so I don't know how I was going to do that, but I'm actually using it as a project bag by putting the stuff crochet hook and my row canter in it, because it does kind of stay upright. I have other stuff I need to get on with. I have deadline projects that I need to get on with, so I need to try and finish this. I'm really addicted to it at the moment, and apart from doing that bit I cut out of the sock, this is all I've been working on for the last couple of days. So I want to try, because I've only got probably like 30 rounds left to do, plus the strap, so I want to try and finish it this week. And then I need to this week also get started on the deadline. I got it from SMD Knitting. I don't know whether it's still available, whether it's still in production, because a couple of websites I looked at didn't have much of it in, like they only have one color left. But it comes in these kind of variegated colors. So yeah, I might get some more of that, because I am quite enjoying crocheting with it. It feels weird to crochet with. I'm crocheting a bit slower than what I normally do. But I want to know what it's like to knit with it, so I might actually make a knitted tote bag as well in a different colour if I have time, but we'll see how we do time wise, because I have deadlines projects. I have 2 deadline projects at the beginning of August. I'm going to have to ask one of my sample knitters to do one of them. I have one that I have to do myself, and I have another one which is quite a small project which I'm going to do myself, because I could probably get that done in like a weekend or like 2 or 3 days. I think it's a relatively small project. And then I have another project which I don't have a deadline for, because the yarn has been delayed, so just as quickly as I can get it done, and I have to knit that myself. So I have a lot of knitting to do this month. So I have been dreaming of some other projects. I've been thinking about a sweater I really want to start. I actually got the yarn out for it. This is yarn I have left over from a sweater I designed for Knitting Magazine. It is Orchid Luxury Yarns. I'm sure it came with 5 colours. I'm missing the palest pink. I don't know what's happened to that. But I got quite a lot left of each. And then I have the sweater I did for knitting used this as well, this colour, and I have a little bit left of that. But I got another skein from Belinda at the Knitting Hotel because she stocks this, and this is the undyed colourway. So I got that from her because it's the same base. I may have some more of it somewhere. And the thing I'm thinking about doing is fairly open and lacy. They're relatively easy, and I think it wouldn't take me that long to knit it. But I need to knit the swatch first and work out if this is enough. I could also use my Truly Hooked advent calendar, which I also want to knit up over the summer. But I don't know. I was really thinking about it over the weekend. I was desperate to cast on for something like now. But then I started this Raffia bag, and I got this deadline projects coming up. So I'm kind of thinking about it, and I might do some swatching at some point this week, but I will try and resist casting on. But I would like to just make a decision about which yarn I'm going to use. So if I knit the swatch, I can work out my tension, I can work out what size I wanted, and work out how much yarn it's going to need, because that's the main thing I need to know really. But when I was looking for this, I knew I had it, and I thought I knew where it was. But first off, I couldn't find it there. So then I started going through my stash. Now this yarn I show here is not my stash, that's the yarn that's on my website. The rest of my yarn is in boxes over there. My yarn is up and around that. But I was going through some of my shelves of stash, and I just couldn't find this. And it was originally where I thought it was. But it has made me realise that my office is just such a tip. I got I had a big order of YarnAddict yarn arrived just before I went to Spain, and that's just piled up on the floor here. I'm thinking next week I might go through all my yarn stash and de-stash some, and then tidy up everything else. That's another one of my summer projects. The thing is, once I started, I need to get it all done in a few days, because if I don't, and I do a little bit, then by the time I get around to doing the rest, I will be back in a mess again, and I don't want to do that. So I am thinking about dedicating a couple of days to it next week. I can't just keep like working all day non-stop, because I have chronic pain in my neck and my back, and I would end up in too much pain. But I am thinking about filming a video going through my stash and deciding what to keep and what to de-stash. I feel like really I should go through my stash like once a year and tidy it up, just because it also reminds me of what I actually have. I didn't do it last year. I think I did the year before, at the beginning of the year. So I want to do that over the summer, sooner rather than later. So watch out, because there might be a de-stash coming soon. The other reason I want to tidy up and do a bit of a de-stash is because I only have a certain number of shelves allocated to yarn, and I really struggle with fitting in some newish yarns. And I also need like a dedicated place, which I did have, but it's got full with other stuff now. Dedicated place for yarn that's arrived for designs, because if the deadline is a while off, I might just put it on the side, and then I struggle to find it again. So, but we've had some more yarn arrive. So I've been a member of the Spectrum Fibre DK Yarn Club. I nearly cancelled it. Over the weekend I was like, I'm annoying whether to cancel it. So it's 6 months now, and so far I haven't done anything with it. My plan was to do a blanket, but I want to see all the colours worked out. So let me show you, because I've had 2 colorways. I had a May colorway, which was really late, because we went to Spain on the 10th, and it hadn't arrived by the time we left. So the last working post day before we left was the 8th, and it hadn't arrived yet by the 8th of June, and that was a May color. And then the June colorway arrived over the weekend, I think. Either on Friday or Saturday, I think it arrived. So let me just go through all of them with you. So January, February, it's brighter than what it looks on my screen. March, I think those two go quite nicely together. They're not meant to be a fade or anything. April, So I've shown you all those before, and I like all those. And then we have, I've actually photographed them all together, so I'll pop a picture up. Then we have May, which I really like. That might be I think my favourite might be April. So May, so we got like 3 that are both all fairly pale and speckly. And then we have June, which is pink with speckles. I really like this one as well. So I have 6 months worth now. It's DK, it's Superbush Merino. Yeah, Superbush Merino, 115 grams each, 100% Superbush Merino. I was thinking about doing a blanket. I have a couple of ideas for a crochet blanket and a knit blanket, but I haven't started it yet, and I'm not starting it over the summer because I have too many other things I want to do. And I am thinking about whether I really want to do it. I like all the colorways so far, except I'm not very keen on that one. So that might get destashed. And I like that one, but I wouldn't have bought it. But the other colors are all colors that I would have bought. But I'm thinking, I was thinking about cancelling it because I've had 6 months. And even though I decided I was going to do the whole year, I am thinking, because I haven't started anything yet, it's just how much yarn can I actually store. So, but I didn't cancel it in time because the payment for July has already gone out. So I am thinking about cancelling when I get the invoice for August. We'll see what the July one is before I make a decision. Okay, so I think that is it. Oh, a couple of things. YarnAddict last weekend in September. I will be there. I'm also teaching this year. I'm doing a continental knitting workshop with Norwegian Pearl. It's a 2.5 hour workshop. I can't remember, 2.5 hours maybe. I can't remember. Morning on the Sunday. So I'm really excited about that because I really enjoyed. Did I teach last year or was the year before? I can't remember. I did enjoy it last time I was teaching there. So I'm really excited about that. When I checked the website yesterday, it said that my workshop is not available. So I don't know whether it's sold out already. I need to message them and find out. But I will link the workshop page below so you can take a look. And I will have my stall there obviously all weekend as well. So I'm very excited about that. And then don't forget my Italian knitting retreat next April 2025. There are still spaces available. It's going to be it's going to be mainly focused around lace knitting. But if you want me to cover anything else in our lessons, I'm happy to do that. Just send me a message. And it's not going to be just knitting. We'll have plenty of time for knitting, and we'll have some like structured workshop time. But there will also be lots of sightseeing, exploring some local places, exploring local crafts and foods, and relaxing and enjoying the beautiful restored palazzo where we are staying in what should hopefully be lovely spring weather, I think. It's in central Italy near Ancona, so I'm really excited. It's in April next year, so I'm going to link that below. If you're interested, do click on the link and check it out. There is a choice of different types of rooms and things, and if you have any questions about it, you can email me or you can contact Hotel Leone, which is the organizer. So if you got questions specifically about the hotel and the facilities and things like that, it's probably best to contact Hotel Leone directly. The link is going to take you straight to their website because they're handling bookings and things. If you've got any questions about the knitting content, then contact me because I can answer those questions. When I started that Raffia crochet bag, I was thinking about what stitch pattern to look for, and I was thinking I used to do something called filet crochet. Have you heard of that? Filet crochet. And I taught a couple of workshops in it many years ago. So I looked on my computer because I thought I've got to have the notes somewhere. And my workshop notes, or the patterns I designed for the workshop, are dated 2013. So it's like 10-11 years ago. Anyway, I printed off my notes. I designed 2 squares for scarves, and I had workshop notes. I printed all that off yesterday, and I had a little practice to see if I can refresh my memory. I must say my workshop notes need a bit of work, but I did do it. I had this yarn left over from the from this tote I had a few small balls left on my coffee table that I just left there before we went on holiday. So I just picked those up, which is why I've used 3 colours, because they just happened to be there. So I just picked them up and had a bit of practice. Just getting hang of some of the techniques again. I was thinking by using filet crochet for this raffia tote bag, but I think it will leave it quite open. I didn't want that, so I decided not to in the end, to go for filet crochet. But I did really enjoy playing with filet crochet again, so you never know. Maybe if I get back into crochet designing, maybe I will have another go at filet crochet, because I think it's really pretty. I think traditionally it's probably mainly used for things like really fine lace tablecloths and stuff. I think some of the tablecloths and doilies and things I inherited from my grandmother was filet crochet, but you can do it in normal yarn as well and make it like a bit thicker. Blankets, scarves, shawls, that kind of thing. So it is something I'm thinking about experimenting a bit, because I did enjoy my little play with it yesterday. Okay, that is it for this week. If you want to see what I got up to in the second half of my holiday in Spain, check out Tuesday's video. We went to a town there where we were staying just north of Benidorm, called Altea, which is beautiful, amazing views over the Mediterranean and the surrounding area. We went to Alicante and saw these big sculptures for the San Juan festival and the Mascletas, which is amazing, really interesting. The crowds were unbelievable, which I talk about in that video. And we went on the boat trip to the island of Tabarca. And what else did we do? I thought there was one more thing, but I can't remember. Maybe that was it. But it's about half an hour video of some of the stuff we did in Spain. So if you're interested in that, I will link it below and at the end of this video. Next week there will be a video on how I took out and re-knitted a whole big chunk and grafted it back on again on my sock, my pixie socks. That'll be out on Tuesday, and then I'll be back with the podcast next Thursday. I am considering changing the date of the podcast till Friday, but I haven't quite decided yet. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let me know what you've been knitting and what you're up to. Do you like crochet? I'm getting really into crochet, so I'm quite enjoying it. And have you ever tried filet crochet or ever heard of it? Let me know. And what do you think I should do about the Spectrum Yarn Club? I'm tempted to keep going, but I'm also feel like I'm worried about the amount of yarn I'm going to end up with, because I don't use DK yarn a ton. So let me know what you would do if you were me. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. And if you have any comments to make, please leave them below, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.